Hello, children, and welcome to poem number 2, Wind, written by Subramanya Bharati. This poem has been translated from Tamil by A.K. Ramanujan. Wind by Subramanya Bharati. We all know that wind is a natural phenomenon. In this poem, the poet talks to the wind. The power of the wind has been described, and the poet says that the wind is destructive. He links the destructive power of the wind to adversities of life and says that the weak people break down, but strong people emerge out of troubles and adversities much stronger. The poem gives an important message that we should be mentally tough and physically strong in order to survive the hardships of life. A weak person breaks down like a weak building and crumbles. We must make these destructive forces our friends with our strength and determination. So now, let's read the poem and then listen to the explanation. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the papers of the books. You brought rain again. You're very clever at poking fun at weaklings, frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body. Make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So, let us go to the beginning of the poem. Here, the poet is talking to the wind. He asks the wind to come softly. So he is saying that the wind should not be very strong or loud. It must be soft and subtle. Then he says that the wind is very powerful. It is destructive. It breaks the shutters of the windows. It scatters papers. When the wind is very powerful, all the books which are kept on the shelf keep falling down. Here, the poet is describing the power of the wind. Then he says to the wind to look at the destruction that it has caused. Whenever there is a strong wind, all things that are weak, like small plants, tiny children, they all get scared and they can even fall and get hurt. We can say that in the initial part of the poem, the poet is referring to the wind as a young child. He is saying that it should come softly, just like a little child does. In the latter part, we come to know that the wind is destructive, just like a youth, like a young man, just like a young boy or girl who's full of energy, violence, and destruction. Now, let us look at the words in the poem. The first one is poking fun, is making fun of something. Weaklings is a person, any person who is weak. And crumbling is falling or causing something to break. Rafters, sloping beams which support the roof of the building. Then the next word is winnows. Winnows means to make grain free of chaff. That means the rice or the wheat has the skin or the covering on it. So women stand by the roadside or in the field and they winnow the grain so that all the lighter chaff flow flies with the wind. He won't he won't do what you tell him. The meaning of the word steadfast is to be firm and flourish is to grow. Now let us continue reading from frail crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. So here The word crumbling is repeated so many times in order to emphasize that everything crumbles in the face of a very strong and violent wind. So, the writer is saying that when the wind is very powerful, it is extremely strong. It leads to the breakage of everything. Houses that are weak fall, doors which are weak, they fall, the beams on which the roof of the buildings are supported, they also fall. All the wooden structures fall. All bodies of people fall. Animals, lives, hearts, everything falls. So he is saying that everything crumbles. Everything that is weak reacts by falling down and breaking in the face of adversity. So the poet is saying that whenever a weak person faces any adversity or challenge in life, he breaks down and he falls. So, here, let us continue reading. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. So, here, the poet is addressing the wind as wind god, and he's saying that the powerful god of the wind winnows. That means he sifts all the people and those things that are weak, that fall down and get crushed. So, here there is a comparison made between wheat and people. Just like we winnow the wheat to separate the grain from chaff, the wind god separates the strong people and the weak people. When there is strong wind, all the things that are weak fall and get crushed. So, let us continue reading. He won't do what you tell him. So, come, let us build strong homes. Let us join the doors firmly. Practice to firm the body, make the heart steadfast. Do this, and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. So here we can see the poet wants us to make friends with the wind. That means the adversities in our lives. He says that problems will not bow down before us. They will come. So we must be prepared. And in preparation, we should build strong homes and close the doors of our houses firmly so that the wind cannot get inside it. And then he says, we should make our bodies strong and our hearts firm to face these challenges in life. Then, once we are strong enough to face all the challenges, they will be like our friends and we will not feel that they are troublesome. The poet has kept the wind on a pedestal, that means on a height. He is comparing the wind to a god. He says that the wind is God and we praise the wind every day. He adds, everything that is weak gets finished in the face of a strong wind, and all things that are strong, they flourish and they grow and they become stronger. He is giving us a very important message that we must not feel bad that we are facing so many challenges and adversities in life. We should make ourselves physically and mentally strong enough to face these challenges. And once we are strong enough, we will overcome challenges. We will become friends with them. And then we will be happy that we had all these challenges in our life because on account of these challenges, we have become stronger and better people. So, the first part of the poem describes the action of the wind, and then in the second part, it describes the power of the wind. The, the wind blows out weak fires but makes the strong fires roar and flourish. The poem conveys the idea that nobody cares for the weak. Even the wind is on the side of strong people. Therefore, in order to make ourselves successful, we must be strong, and only then can we overcome all challenges in life. Now, let us talk about the rhyme scheme of the poem. There is no rhyme scheme in this poem as it is written in free verse. Now, the literary devices that are used in this poem are, the first one is anaphora. When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines, it is the device of anaphora. Line number 2, 3 and 4. Don't break, don't scatter, don't throw. So these lines begin with the word don't. And then as we continue, lines 6, 7 and 8 begin with you tore the pages, you brought rain, you're very clever. So all these three lines begin with the word you. So this is the figure of speech, that is anaphora. Then we go on to personification. In this poem, the poet talks about the wind as though he were a person. The poet says you are. He talks to the wind as you, as a person. That is why we say that this is personification. So the poet Subramanya Bharati personifies the wind. Then we also have repetition. The word crumbling, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling wood to crumbling hearts. All the word crumbling is repeated several times, and so it is a repetition. This word is repeated in order to lay emphasis or to stress this word, that the power of the wind crumbles everything. Then another figure of speech used in this poem is alliteration. Alliteration is the repetition of consonant sounds, that is wind winnows and won't want. So these words, there's a repetition of the syllable were, wind winnows and won't want. Then the last figure of speech in this poem is symbolism. Symbolism means the thing refers to some other thing. The wind is a symbol. It refers to challenges in life. Subramanya Bharati is using wind as a symbol for the adversities that people face in their lives. Now, let us look at the question answers of this poem. We've already seen the glossary, the words that are there. What are the things? What are the things that the wind does in the first stanza? The wind blows violently, it destroys everything. It breaks the shutters of the windows, it scatters papers, it throws books down from the shelf, it tears pages and brings a lot of rain. The second question is something that you have to answer. Have you seen anybody winnow grain? What is the word in your language that means in Gujarati for winnowing? And what do people use? It is Jhatakwu. So you must find out and write that. Then what does the poet say? The wind god winnows. The wind god winnows means that nature sifts the weak things from the strong ones. It separates. Everything that is weak is tossed about by the powerful wind and it gets destroyed. Just like the winnower separates the grains of wheat from the chaff, similarly the wind god separates the weak people from the strong people. And what should we do? Question number 3. What should we do to make friends with the wind? We must make ourselves strong, so strong that we are able to face the violent wind. When we are strong, the wind will not be able to harm us. Instead, it will become a friend and help us to grow and flourish. Then, what do the last 4 lines of the poem mean to you? The last 4 lines carry a very important message that strong people emerge stronger and victorious in the face of troubles and adversities. We must make ourselves strong like a burning fire which grows and flourishes in the violent wind. We also shall prosper in the face of challenges. And the poem that you have just read is originally in Tamil. Do you know any such poems in Gujarati? Then you can note it down. So children, make sure you read the poem and write the question answers in your fair book. Also, if you know of any poem like The Wind in Gujarati, you can note that poem also down. Thank you and have a nice day.